Communify stands for a unified community, which is, it's our vision as well, that we have a community that cares for each other and that we have a place in the community where people know they can come. So Communify has been around for 40 years. It was started by a group of local people who were concerned about those people in the community that were isolated, experiencing financial hardship, and who were challenged by things that were happening in their lives. So they decided that they would apply for neighbourhood centre funding. That's how it all began. And we've stayed very true to the fact that we are a neighbourhood centre. So over the years, the neighbourhood centre has grown and changed in direct response to the needs that we've seen in our community. We're seeing that full life of people engaged in their community and in their community centre. Someone like Joan, was a volunteer on the board. She then became a volunteer with the pantry, then became a worker, and now has moved that full circle and is now a client.
People around here would be lost without Communify. In the beginning, it was just looking after people and helping out. I just give thanks that they're there and doing all the good they do.
So Communify has a complete suite of aged care services, right from that sort of early intervention around home assist to nursing, allied health. We do a lot of transport, helping people to get to appointments, helping people get to where they need to go, because we've got this wonderful team of volunteers who give their time. Communify have made the decision to become an NDIS provider. So we are currently transitioning a number of clients in our existing community care, personal helpers and mentors, and partners in recovery programs, supporting people to develop their plans, gather their evidence, and then if they so choose, we can actually be a provider of choice for them as well.
My name is Gary Ann Muir. I'm a volunteer for Communify at Kelvin Grove Community Centre, and doing the free lunching is another thing with the Communify volunteer, and going to the pantry on a Monday, getting all the produce for the luncheon. But yeah, it helps some of the residents here as well who struggle in money wise, or if they can't afford any bread or anything like that. It's always helpful. We've got 20 members of the garden. We've got a lot of new members now. It's great having all the different people.
I think that we listen to what's coming back to us from the front line. We learn from that. I think we appreciate quality work, and we recognise and celebrate that with our staff. We invest in training, we invest in keeping abreast of best practice, and we give our staff wings so they can try new things.
I'm Dominic Hale, a social worker with Partners in Recovery Mental Health Care Coordination Program here at Communify. I was born in Brisbane and grew up in Brisbane. When I would have been about 11 years old, during the school holidays program, I was involved in doing the mosaic here. That community development, kind of community spirit approach that Communify has, it's kind of a nice full loop really to be involved in one of the projects supporting the community centre.
Quite often services are quite siloed, so you'll go here for housing and homelessness, and you'll go here for intensive family support, and over here for emergency relief. In being a multi-service organisation, we have the capacity when somebody walks in the door to really wrap around a range of supports so that we can get sort of a seamless approach to providing support. All the things that we now deliver, there's a reason why we looked at people returning in need of support over and over again. We needed to do something about that. So when people come to the pantry for food, they undertake a full assessment and they're referred internally or externally. But wherever possible, we really do try and sort of wrap that service around somebody with internal services.
I'm Ken Oldham, and I volunteer at the pantry for Communify. A friend of mine told me about Communify. I thought, I'm better than sitting around the house doing nothing all day. When I first started, I didn't think much about it, but then once you get to do it, you find out all people's circumstances, and once they get to know you, you hear their life stories and all that, so it's pretty good.
Obviously the food pantry relies heavily on donations. We have a number of regular donors that help us make sure that we can provide other financial supports. We have the wonderful patrons from New Farm who raise money to support homelessness and our response to homelessness. Heart 4000 Community Hub provides people with immediate accommodation, but also work in a case management model to secure more long-term housing. Communify Neighbourhood Centre responds to the needs in that community. People come in and have a shower and they sit down and have a coffee and they'll be sitting next to somebody that's just come out of the playgroup. Quite often that doesn't happen for people who are experiencing homelessness. People can feel they're part of a community.
My name is Colin Collins and I've been associated with the Community Centre for well over 20 years. To associate with people who think differently to me. We all mix up together and have chats about life and the meaning of life.
Communify board have nominated an area in which they want to dedicate their own resources, and that has been in the area of multicultural work. We work across the spectrum of newly arrived refugees right through to people seeking asylum.
I'm Bahra from Iran. I have been here for 4 years, involved with the knitting class. You feel so safe place because I came here from a really busy city, and here was so quiet for me, and I didn't know anyone. After I came here and saw Persian people around here, I could find lots of friends.
In any 1 week, we can have 200 activities happening across our community. So we know that people have found new friendships, people have enjoyed undertaking new activities, they're coming together to sing and play music and dance and all the things that we love to do as people. It's wonderful that we have this breadth of opportunities for people, whether it's because they need our support or whether they want to meet their neighbours and join in activities. That's what a neighbourhood centre does. It reaches out to everyone in their community. And every day we've got people knocking on the door to say,